Welcome back to Travel Again Insights, a weekly look at the critical news items that matter most to our amazing industry. Well, good to see you again, Ed.
Good to see you too, Mike. This week, we're going to open up with some news of our own as we launch our Travel Again Global Recovery Framework. Why don't you tell the audience about that?
Well, this has been an effort where the travel advisor, the policy team has been just absolutely working like crazy with us for the last 6 weeks now to get to the recommendation stage. We were really set on trying to get this out to the industry so people could see it and start reacting to it and getting ready as we gear up for hopefully a much better, brighter 2021. So I'd say the high points are, again, it takes everybody through a rationale, framework, prioritization process, and then recommendations that come out. And again, I think, speaking on behalf of the team, we're really proud of what we put together. I think it's something that could really help the industry overall and really drive a recovery process and bring some clarity to what our roles are, what we think our interaction with government should be, and I think a very measured, responsible look at what needs to be done. And again, right now, I mean, it's like the early stage. We need to get it out and start the process of building support behind it. And I hope, the whole industry will get behind this and really see it as a good framework to use and that we can all benefit from. Again, and not to take away from all the hard work that people are putting in on all different sectors of the industry, all at the brand level, at the, again, the industry sector level. But we do need to pull together as an entire industry if we're going to be successful. And I think this is hopefully a good start. And I think, the reaction we've gotten so far has been really positive. We've heard from a lot of media, both on the national, global level, and also industry level. Hopefully people cover it, write about it, build support for it. And we'll, the work's just begun, really. I mean, we've got a lot to do coming into the year to, again, build that coalition type support behind it and get everybody heading in the right direction. So pivotal year for this industry and just in general, right? Let's let the recovery begin.
Okay, Mike, talking about the recovery, let's cover an article that came out where the FDA has authorized another or a first at home COVID test. Sure. And I know how important testing is to our recovery framework. So will you just talk briefly about this one?
Yeah, so in our recommendations, we talk about what we're naming the 3-test protocol, which is a very straightforward approach to what's required, meaning a test before you leave, which this fits into beautifully, and then a test, at the airport when you fly out, and at the airport before you return. It gives you those 3 tests to really try to reduce the risk to a low managed level risk of for COVID. So we can get people on the road, get the quarantine levels reduced or eliminated, and really start to free up responsible travel, both for business and leisure. So that at-home component being accurate, efficient, available, and either at a low cost or maybe a cost that the travel providers are going to subsidize is absolutely the pivotal one. So I think it's good to hear that is being fast tracking, as well as the vaccines and the things we hear about. This testing pieces are actually really, really critical as well to the recovery.
Yeah, I mean, I obviously agree. I've been following innovation in the testing area, for a while. And so if you follow us on Twitter or any of our social media, you'll see we talk quite a bit about testing. And I'm really proud that showed up so strongly in our framework. The next article is actually a little alarming as we saw a surge in TSA members getting COVID during the Thanksgiving surge. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think it's the unintended consequences. I mean, we talk so much about frontline workers when it comes to the healthcare area, which is, of course, I mean, appropriately so. But we don't talk as much about the health and well-being of the frontline workers when it comes to travel. And we're talking about flight attendants and, airport workers and, certainly TSA employees. And, a lot of attention was paid to people being level of responsibility of people traveling for Thanksgiving and encouraging people still to, stay home and be conservative. But clearly people did need to and want to travel for Thanksgiving. But again, one of the unintended consequences is those frontline TSA workers were impacted. And again, it got picked up a little bit. There was a story in Forbes, but it didn't get that level of attention. And it just makes me think that, again, not only do we need to really be focused on our own when it comes to our industry and making sure our frontline folks are protected and really getting all the care they need, but hopefully have an opportunity to move up the line in the vaccine distribution as well. Again, not to replace anything that's happening now with this first group that's getting vaccinated, but man, if we could get those folks up to the front, up near to the front as well, it would do a lot for our industry, and hopefully we'll see that happen.
Okay, thanks, Mike. That's the last article we're going to cover today, although I have one more that is really interesting for the holidays. When you're around the table with your family, should companies require employees to take the vaccine? This is just an interesting think project right now. It's one we should keep an eye on, and definitely one to talk to your family and friends about over the holidays in terms of the vaccine rollout, which, I mean, we're so excited about. But whether companies should or force employees to take it, it's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Well, it's a great point, Ed. You're the one that, again, you flagged this one, and I think you taught. I think the context was about employees returning to the office or being able to, but that has a direct correlation with business travelers starting to travel. So I think it's important to everything we're saying. It's related. And I think companies are certainly concerned about duty of care and risk, but there is that whole philosophical discussion about where does the company's responsibilities begin and end, authority begin and end, and can something like that be mandated? And it's new area for companies to be involved in. It's not normal. We certainly haven't had to have vaccine employment discussions ever before, and I think you're right for flagging that one. It's one to keep an eye on.
It's one to keep an eye on. And speaking of the holidays, Mike, I think this will be our last one for the holidays. Anything to comment on that?
No, just that I think what we've been saying all along is that stay safe, stay vigilant. If you are traveling, and make sure you travel safe and take all the precautions. But hopefully, again, you get some time to stop and reflect about how we really want to put this year to bed and get into a new year. I think even just the psychology of that is positive, and look forward to working with everybody in the industry in the new year and see if we can make big leaps and bounds forward and getting back on the road and back in the skies and traveling again and safely and do what we enjoy doing, which is traveling.
Cheers to traveling again, and we'll see you all in the new year.
Yep, see you in the new year.